Hey guys, we are here for a review of Uprising Pacific Rim with our guest reviewer Zoe.
What's up, guys?
So Zoe, let's start with the good part about the movie, and let me start first. I think this time around there are a lot more kaijus and there are a lot more different variations of Jaegers versus Pacific Rim 1 where the Jaegers are by country, but this time around they are just a United Nations Jaeger lah.
The Pacific Rim Defense Corps, what
Yes.
it's called, right? I think
That is correct.
Yeah.
So I think that is what I like about the movie, and that's pretty much it.
That's
It's a very
it.
short
Oh,
list.
that's very low, my
What
friend.
about you, Zoe? What do you like about the movie?
Definitely the fight scenes. That's the biggest draw of the movie, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Giant robots versus giant monsters on the big screen.
Yeah, and also spoiler alert, there are also giant robots versus giant robots as we've seen from the trailer. There's the big fight with them in the Sydney Darling Harbour.
Dude, it's not just like giant robot versus giant robot. In the beginning of the movie, you definitely get giant robot versus tiny Jaeger that turns into a ball.
Yeah, that's a scrapper.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what we like about the movie, and now for what we don't like about the movie. So Zoe, what don't you like about the movie?
Okay, first thing, if you're a fan of the first movie, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are, you will be disappointed like not enough returning characters came back to this movie.
There are three.
Yeah, the two scientists, Gottlieb and Newt and Mako. But no Riley. Charlie Hunnam, I guess he was busy with King Arthur.
Oh, ouch! That was the best movie of 2017. Not okay.
No! Well,
Yeah.
a few gripes here and there. It was still fun.
Okay, so for me, as what have you mentioned, the bad is of course Marco. Not because she died. Okay, spoiler alert. But her acting in this movie is really bad. It is as if she dialed in her lines. It is really bad.
I think for her in this movie, like, I just need a paycheck. I just need to get my name out there so I can get more roles.
Yeah.
That's just it. I need a Hollywood movie. I'll take whatever I can get.
Yeah, that
I'm
is
sorry
true.
for being negative, but that's what I felt.
Yes. And what do you think about the casting though?
It's fine. It's not that great. I will say this: John Boyega definitely not leading man quality.
Yeah.
He's great in Star Wars. He's great in, I think, indie movies. I think he's done a few, maybe. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Scott Eastwood, surprisingly, he's okay. I would have preferred him if he was the lead role.
Yeah.
Honestly speaking.
That is very true. I think this is the negative piece about the movie for me, because even though they casted Scott Eastwood, which I thought was very charismatic on screen,
Yeah.
but surprisingly he has very little screen on time
Yes,
versus John
yeah.
Boyega. And yes, we know John Boyega is supposed to be leading man, but it didn't felt like there was a supporting lead actor in this movie.
No. John Boyega's acting is fine, but he doesn't have that draw or star power like when you see someone like Tom Cruise.
Oh, please, not Tom Cruise, but I get what you mean. I get what you mean. John Boyega definitely cannot
How
hold this
many
movie
Mission
up.
Impossible movies are there now? There's like 6.
Okay, let's
Six
not
coming.
talk about Mission Impossible then. So Zoe, you want to talk a bit about the positive that you left out just now?
Yeah, I mean, yes, we can go back and forth between negative and positive. For me, like, positive in terms of plot was the return of Charlie Day's character and Ben Gurman's character,
Yes.
Dr. Newt and Geyser.
Yes.
If you guys remember correctly in the last movie, how they both drifted with the kaiju brain, right?
Yes.
And that to me was good. Was good script writing. We actually had like a good villain, somewhat of a good villain. His merging with the brain, it left him possessed. I guess like he became an agent of the kaiju now.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry, but what were you expecting?
To me, watching Pacific Rim, I'm not expecting any plot. I'm not expecting any intricate plots on how to bring back the kaiju. I don't really care. This is supposed to be a no-brainer, full-on action kaiju versus big giant robots. That's what Pacific Rim is all about,
Dude,
right?
I agree with you completely.
Yeah.
Like, this is a movie where you would leave your brain out the door. Just
Yes, that is true.
enjoy watching the spectacle and stuff your face with popcorn.
So that is where we come back to the negative, right? Because I think the scriptwriters and the director themselves decided to make this into a plot-heavy movie instead of an action-heavy movie.
Yeah.
And that's where you get a lot of dialogue. So in Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, I was yawning throughout the entire
You were
movie
yawning?
because there was so much dialogue. and I thought I walked into a wrong movie theater.
For you, you were yawning. Me, I was like, I don't know whether it would be nitpicking or questioning. Like, there's so many subplots in this movie. Like the rift between Boyega and Eastwood's character with the girl. Like there was like kind of like romantic plot in there,
Yes.
but it just got shafted. Where did that left off?
Yeah, there were actually quite a few parts from the trailer that was actually not in the movie itself. It was left out.
Was there?
Yeah, there was a scene where you see Eastwood was using a gun to shut off some of the drones, incoming drones. Those were all cut off
There
from
were
the movie as well.
drones.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So
Another thing like plot holes that I found, like how did Mako knew that Obsidian Fury was, or where his location was? Like how did they know that they need to go to that island?
yeah, so like I said, there are so many subplots. It is meant to be a no-brainer, full-on action movie. So that is one of the big negative I find with the movie. It's a very big contrast between the first and the second Pacific Rim, right?
If you were to compare the first and second, like the first was definitely a passion project for
Del Toro.
visionary director Guillermo del Toro. I'm sorry, he won an Oscar.
Yeah, he's too busy making movies about fish and making love with a woman. So
Yeah.
this time around, this movie is helmed by a different director.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but most of his credits, from what I saw, it's mostly mostly made for TV.
Yeah.
And personally, I think like because he was handed with such a big a big project, like maybe he couldn't handle it.
That is true.
That's what I feel.
That is true. While there are a few negatives about the movie, I was kind of hoping that the soundtrack would at least stand out, just like how there was a great soundtrack from Black Panther, but unfortunately there was no awe-inspiring hero theme.
No hero theme.
No hero
It
theme
was
from
lacking.
Pacific Rim 1. It was really, really lacking.
You didn't felt moved at all, right?
I didn't feel moved at all, right? Unlike the first soundtrack from Pacific Rim 1, so they actually rehashed that theme from Pacific Rim 1 for
They did.
Pacific Rim 2.
They did.
Yes, they did.
I couldn't hear it at all.
So unfortunately the soundtrack was really lacking as well. So Zo, I thought you were gonna say something about the cinematography or something about Pacific Rim 1?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if any people notice. I'm sorry if I have to go back between like the first movie. If you notice like very carefully in the first one, there were like color hues of blues and orange, and they were kind of like signifiers. Like if you look at shades of blue, that represented Mako.
Yeah.
And while you see shades of orange, that represent Riley. Gypsy Danger's arc reactor, the color orange. And those two kind of blended well, seamlessly in the background. And
Now that you mention it, even from the trailer, you can see that most of John Boyega scenes are orange.
Is it?
And
Is it
Pacific
orange?
Rim 1, most of Mako scenes are in blue. So this is a little bit of Easter egg. You guys go and check it out.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe it's true. Like, I went in this movie kind of like with a negative thought. Maybe.
Well, actually, when we went to watch the movie, we were not expecting any negative thoughts, right? We have high hopes.
Correction, not negative thoughts. Maybe our not reactions. Our expectations were not met.
Yes, that is true. Now, a little bit of spoiler for you guys as well. At the final big fight in Tokyo, there was a big, nice pan of the Gundam unicorn, right?
Oh, yeah.
So when I first saw the scene, I was like, wow, awesome. Is this like an homage to the Gundam franchise? But then I thought, maybe not really, right?
It's not just the unicorn. If you look very carefully, you would see Anaheim Electronics
Somewhere
in the background.
Yeah, I missed that. So that was a paid marketing exposure for Bandai Gundam.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
it's nice. It's a nice thing to see.
it's put in subtly.
Mhm.
So Zo, what's your verdict on this movie?
I know we harped negatively on this movie, but there are a few redeeming qualities to it. You just need to leave your brain out the door when you walk into the theater, and just enjoy yourself.
But dude, that's what I did. I left my brain out the door, but this movie is so plot heavy. There's just so much dialogue. So that is the irony of it, right? Sorry, I was interrupting.
No, it's okay. It's still a fun, enjoyable movie for the summer. Yeah, that's about it. It'll make money, probably.
5 stars or 10 stars? How many stars would you give this movie?
I'll just give it a 2.
2 out of 10 or 2 out of 5?
2 out of 5.
2 out of 5, okay. So for me, I've really had very high hopes going to this movie because, the first movie really, really raised the bar of what a giant mech fighting kaijus is supposed to be like. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, coming to this movie, there was a good cast. Unfortunately, Eastwood had very little screen time. Most of the cast of the kids were underdeveloped. John Boyega, as Zul mentioned before, can't really carry that lead role at all, right? So that was really, really disappointing.
Every character in the movie was basically served as a foil for Boyega.
That is true, right?
You can literally call this like Pacific Rim, the Boyega show.
Yeah. So if you ask me, I would also give it a rating of 2 out of 5, and I would not recommend this movie to anyone. It is not a bad movie in any way, but just that the pacing itself is very slow. There's so much dialogue, not enough action. But I know it'll be very hard to put anybody off from watching this movie, because if you have seen Pacific Rim 1, you would definitely want to see Pacific Rim 2.
Yeah. Probably the only good thing that came out of this movie is the merchandising. I'll still buy the toys. Hopefully they'll keep the franchise alive.
Yeah, I think they will definitely keep the franchise alive. Maybe that is why they cast the kids. So when they grow up, they become Jaeger pilots as well. So that's all from us, guys. We love to hear your comments down below. Let us know what you think of this movie. You have seen it, and for those of you who have not seen it, let us know if you're going to pay good money for this. Yeah.
If you're not, I suggest watching it when it's on HBO.
Yeah. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye bye.